What if I told you the person you're falling for is not your soulmate, but your biggest test from Allah? What if the connection you feel isn't a blessing, but a trial wrapped in emotion, sent to test your patience, your faith, and your heart's direction? We often chase feelings thinking they're signs, but not every strong emotion is a divine message. Sometimes it's a mirror showing you what you're attached to more than your Creator. Are you confusing a test with true love? Because when Allah loves you, He doesn't always give you what you want. He gives you what you need to grow. Before you give your heart away, ask yourself, is this love bringing me closer to Allah or pulling me further away? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might save your heart and your akhirah. Sign 1. Your connection distracts you from Allah. Think about it. Every time you think of this person, do you find yourself closer to Allah or further away? If your feelings lead you to forget salah, delay your dua, or skip acts of worship just to stay connected to them, that's a big warning sign. True love from Allah brings you closer to Him. It makes you want to pray more, seek guidance, and protect your faith. But if your heart is drawing you further from your Creator, this person may just be a test to see where your priorities lie. Sign 2. They pull you toward haram without you realizing it. When a relationship is from Allah, it keeps you grounded in your values. If this person leads you to break your values or compromises your faith, even in small ways, then it's a sign this isn't the one for you. Love from Allah respects boundaries, keeps you humble, and reminds you to protect your dignity. If you find yourself making excuses for actions that go against your faith, ask yourself, is this love or is this temptation from your nafs? Remember, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us, when something feels wrong in your heart, it is likely wrong in your faith too. Sign 3. Your heart is in constant conflict. When you're with someone, do you feel calm and content, or is there a constant unease deep within you? True peace comes from knowing that what you're doing aligns with your faith and values. But when you're involved with someone who isn't meant for you, the feeling of peace slips away, leaving you with inner conflict. This conflict isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it shows up as a nagging feeling in the back of your mind, like something isn't quite right. You might find yourself questioning whether your actions, thoughts, or feelings are in line with what Allah wants for you. Are you being true to your beliefs, or are you compromising because of your emotions? You may find yourself justifying things that, deep down, you know aren't right, thinking, it's not that bad, or I'll fix this later. But these justifications are signs that your heart is not at ease. When a relationship is truly from Allah, it helps you grow spiritually. It brings you closer to your purpose, and it supports your connection with Allah. You feel a sense of peace, knowing that you're making choices that honor both your faith and your values. However, when a relationship is a test, it makes you question these very things. The constant inner turmoil you feel is a sign that this relationship might be pulling you away from your true path. If you're always second-guessing whether you're doing the right thing or feeling like your heart is in constant conflict, it's a signal that the relationship isn't aligned with your true purpose. The more you ignore this feeling, the harder it becomes to find peace, and the further you move from the life you're meant to live. It's important to listen to this inner conflict because deep down, it's telling you that something is not right. Peace comes when you trust Allah, follow His guidance, and make choices that align with His will. If you're feeling torn, take a moment to step back and reflect. Trust that the peace you're seeking comes from Him, not from chasing a relationship that might not be meant for you. Sign 4. You start justifying your actions. When you feel strongly for someone, it's easy to start making excuses for actions that go against your beliefs. At first, these excuses might seem harmless. You tell yourself, "It's okay, I'm doing this for love," or "I can always ask for forgiveness later." These justifications may feel comforting in the moment, especially when you're emotionally invested, but deep down, you know that something isn't right. Real love, the kind that Allah intends for us, is built on sincerity, respect for your faith, and a desire to honor what is good and pure. It doesn't push you into compromising your values or acting in ways that you know are wrong. Yet, when your heart becomes attached to someone who isn't meant for you, you begin to overlook the red flags. You start to tell yourself that what you're doing isn't that bad. Everyone does this, you think, or it's just this one time, and then I'll be better. But these justifications are a sign that you are rationalizing behavior that you know deep down is not in line with your true beliefs. You might tell yourself that your actions don't matter because your feelings are so strong. You may believe that love is enough to make everything else okay. But love, true love, is not about turning a blind eye to the wrong. It's not about convincing yourself that you can fix it later. True love uplifts you. It doesn't drag you down into a place of guilt, confusion, or regret. When you truly love someone, you respect yourself, your faith, and your boundaries. True love leads you closer to Allah, not further away from Him. But when you're justifying your actions, you are not growing spiritually. You are not becoming a better person. Instead, you're allowing yourself to be led by temporary emotions rather than the values that matter most. Love that comes from Allah is pure and makes you more conscious of your relationship with Him. It strengthens your connection to Allah and purifies your heart, making you strive to be the best version of yourself. It doesn't make you lose sight of what's important. Instead, it reinforces the values of respect, patience, and faithfulness. When you find yourself justifying things that go against your core beliefs, it's a wake-up call. It's telling you that something is off. You are being pulled away from your true purpose, and you are starting to compromise on things that should never be compromised. True love never asks you to sacrifice your morals or your faith. It encourages you to stay true to your values, even in moments of temptation. If you're feeling the need to justify your actions repeatedly, it's a sign that you might be ignoring what your heart knows is right. And that's a dangerous path to follow, because it leads you away from the very things that give your life meaning and purpose. If the love you feel is leading you to make excuses for actions that are against your faith, it's time to pause and reflect. Love should never make you compromise your relationship with Allah. Instead, it should bring you closer to Him, making you more aware of your duties and encouraging you to stay on the right path. When you stop justifying and start aligning your actions with your faith, that's when you'll know that the love you're experiencing is truly from Allah. Sign 5. Your relationship is moving faster than your faith can keep up. When you're in a relationship that feels like it's moving too fast, it can be exciting at first. You might feel like everything is falling into place perfectly, like you're on the right track. But if you take a moment to listen closely to your heart, you may feel something else, a deep, quiet voice telling you to slow down. This is often the first sign that things might not be as they seem. The relationship may be moving too quickly, but you may not yet be spiritually ready to keep up with it. Our faith teaches us that Allah's timing is always perfect. He knows when we are ready for something, whether it's a test, a blessing, or even a relationship. He doesn't rush things. If the relationship is moving forward faster than you can spiritually process, it might be a sign that this isn't the right moment. You may find yourself caught up in emotions, eager to move forward, but your heart isn't in the right place yet. And that's okay. Allah knows that we need time to grow, heal, and align our hearts with Him before anything else. If you feel like you're losing control or being swept away by the relationship, it's important to step back and ask yourself why everything seems to be speeding up. Relationships require time to understand each other, to learn about each other's values, and to make sure that you both align with the same goals. But when you rush through the process, you skip over critical steps of spiritual growth, reflection, and prayer that should be part of the journey. Spiritual growth should always come first, because it helps you build the foundation for a healthy, lasting relationship. Without it, you might find yourself rushing into a commitment or decision without fully understanding the implications it has on your relationship with Allah. Allah doesn't put us in situations until we are truly ready for them. Think about how many times we experience delays or moments of waiting in our lives. These pauses are not always signs of rejection, but rather opportunities for reflection, for growth, and for drawing closer to Him. When your relationship is moving faster than your ability to grow spiritually, it's a clear warning that you're not taking the time to reflect and build a solid foundation. You might feel a sense of urgency, but that urgency is often driven by your emotions, not by your faith. If you're rushing through the stages of a relationship, whether it's becoming too attached too quickly, making commitments without deep spiritual reflection, or bypassing important conversations about faith and values, then you are allowing the relationship to pull you forward faster than your heart and faith can handle. Relationships take time, just like the development of our relationship with Allah takes time. Allah allows us to grow and heal at His pace, and He doesn't expect us to have everything figured out instantly. He gives us the space to process, reflect, and ask for His guidance at every step. The speed at which a relationship moves is not as important as the depth of the connection, the alignment of your faith, and the clarity of your intentions. When things are rushed, it's easy to miss red flags, overlook important issues, or make decisions based on emotions rather than clear spiritual understanding. Moving too quickly can lead to mistakes, confusion, and heartache, because we have not given ourselves the time to understand what Allah truly wants for us. A relationship that progresses at the right pace will allow you both to grow spiritually together, build a stronger connection, and strengthen your relationship with Allah. If your relationship feels like it's rushing forward and something inside you tells you to slow down, trust that inner voice. Allah doesn't rush things. He allows us time to grow, to build a connection with Him, and to align our hearts with His will. If you feel like your faith is being left behind as you focus more on the relationship, it's time to take a step back and reassess. Seek Allah's guidance through dua, trust His timing, and know that when the time is right, everything will fall into place. He knows what is best for you, and He will guide you to what is good for your heart, your soul, and your future. Sign 6. You're constantly praying for this person, but your heart doesn't find peace. When you care deeply for someone, it's only natural to want the best for them, and that often leads to prayer. You may find yourself asking Allah to bless them, guide them, and keep them safe. But if you pause and reflect, you might notice something important. After praying for them, do you feel peace in your heart? Or do you feel a sense of restlessness, uncertainty, and anxiety that won't go away? It's crucial to understand that true love, the kind that comes from Allah, brings peace and contentment, not worry. When something is right, it doesn't cause your heart to be filled with confusion or unease. If you find yourself praying constantly for this person, but your heart remains unsettled, that's a sign that you might be pursuing something that isn't meant for you. It's one thing to care for someone and ask for Allah's blessings upon them, but it's another to feel like you're carrying a burden every time you pray for them. True love doesn't make you anxious. It doesn't leave you in a state of confusion, wondering if your feelings are misplaced or if this person is truly the right one for you. Consider this. When you pray, you should feel a sense of peace in your heart because you are trusting Allah with what's most important to you. But if, after each prayer, you feel increasingly restless and uncertain, it may be a sign that your heart is trying to hold on to something that Allah has not decreed for you. Your heart might be struggling to accept that what you want may not be in line with what Allah wants for you. This internal conflict can create a feeling of discomfort because deep down, you are not aligning your desires with His will. We often pray for what we think we need or want, but when we place our trust in Allah, He will guide us toward what is best for us, whether it aligns with our immediate desires or not. If you are constantly praying for someone but don't feel peace, it's time to take a step back and ask yourself, am I truly surrendering this to Allah? Do I trust that He knows what's best for me? Sometimes the restlessness in your heart is a sign that you are not fully letting go. You might be holding on to the idea of this person or this relationship, even if deep down you know that it's not right for you. Your heart might be telling you that there's something more to be learned or gained from the situation, but that peace and contentment are missing because you haven't fully trusted Allah's plan for you. True peace comes when you release your grip on things that are not meant for you and place your full trust in Allah. When you trust Allah, you trust that He will guide you toward the path that brings you closer to Him, even if it's not the path you envisioned. That sense of surrender, of letting go, is what brings true peace. It's a peace that comes from knowing that whatever happens, you are in the hands of the one who knows what is best for you. When you're constantly praying for someone, but still feel anxiety, it could be because you are too focused on the outcome. You might be thinking too much about whether they're the one for you, about whether this relationship will work out. But Allah's plan is always better than our own, and sometimes the answer to our prayers might not be what we expect. The peace comes when you realize that the outcome is not for you to control. It's for Allah to decide. If after praying you feel peace in your heart, knowing that Allah is in control and that whatever happens is His will, then you can rest assured that you are on the right path. But if, on the other hand, you feel increasingly anxious and uncertain, it might be time to reconsider your feelings. Let go of the attachment and trust that Allah will lead you to what is best for you, even if it's not what you wanted or expected. Trusting Allah doesn't mean you stop caring for this person, but it means accepting that you may not be the one who can control the outcome. True peace comes when you trust Allah with your heart, your desires, and your prayers. Let go and leave it in His hands. He knows what's best for you, and that knowledge brings comfort to your soul, allowing you to find peace regardless of the outcome. Sign 7. You feel like you're losing yourself. When you're in a relationship that aligns with Allah's guidance, you feel a sense of empowerment. You feel more confident in your faith and more in tune with your purpose in life. Every decision, every step you take feels like it's in harmony with what Allah has planned for you. Your relationship strengthens your values, and it leads you toward becoming the best version of yourself. Someone who is closer to Allah, more understanding, more patient, and more compassionate. But when you're in a relationship that isn't right for you, you may start to feel the opposite. You may begin to feel like you're losing yourself. The person you care about might start pulling you away from your values, making you question who you are and what you stand for. Your actions might begin to change, and you may find yourself making compromises, justifying behaviors, or allowing things to happen that you know aren't aligned with your faith. You start to feel distant from your true self, and that's when the alarm bells should start ringing. Love from Allah doesn't make you lose yourself. It brings you closer to your true essence, the person Allah created you to be. But when the relationship starts to feel like it's chipping away at your values, your beliefs, or your connection with Allah, you need to stop and reassess. If you're finding yourself questioning who you are, whether you're acting in alignment with your faith, or if your priorities are shifting away from what's truly important, it's time to step back and reflect. At the heart of this feeling of losing yourself is often a deeper internal conflict. You may feel like you have to choose between your faith and the relationship, and when that happens, it's a clear sign that the relationship isn't meant to be. True love, the kind that Allah blesses us with, should never require us to sacrifice our connection with Him. In fact, a loving relationship that is built on faith should strengthen your bond with Allah, not weaken it. It should encourage you to pray more, seek His guidance more, and live your life in a way that brings you closer to Him. If, however, this relationship is pulling you away from Allah, making you forget your duties, or pushing you into situations that make you uncomfortable with your values, then that relationship is not a blessing. It may feel good in the moment, and you may feel emotionally attached, but deep down, you know that something is off. This is a distraction, not the love you are meant to have. The more you get caught up in it, the more you risk losing sight of what truly matters: your faith, your relationship with Allah, and your sense of purpose. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave us a clear message when he said, "If you ask Allah for guidance, He will never leave you to wander." If you feel lost in this relationship, if you feel like your heart is wandering away from Allah, then it's time to turn to Him. Seek His guidance, make dua, and ask for clarity. Allah is always there to guide us back to the right path. If you're feeling distant from your true self, your heart is restless, and you're questioning your purpose, take this as a sign that you need to reconnect with your faith and trust in Allah's plan for you. It's easy to get swept up in a relationship, especially if emotions are involved. You may tell yourself that the feelings are too strong to ignore, that this person must be the one. But the reality is that the relationship that Allah has planned for you will never cause you to lose sight of what's most important. It will never cause you to forget who you are at your core or lead you to compromise your values. When you're in the right relationship, you don't feel lost. You feel grounded, secure in your faith, and clear about your purpose. But when you're not in the right relationship, you begin to feel scattered and uncertain. Your priorities may shift, your focus may waver, and you might even start to make decisions that you never would have before, simply because you're trying to hold on to the relationship. But remember, you don't need to lose yourself in order to keep someone in your life. If you're feeling like you're drifting away from who you truly are, seek guidance from Allah. Ask Him to guide you, to protect your heart from distractions, and to help you stay true to the person He created you to be. Trust that Allah knows what's best for you, even if it doesn't align with your immediate desires. The peace and clarity you're searching for will come when you stop trying to control the outcome and let Allah's guidance lead you. If something is meant for you, it will not cause you to lose yourself. Allah's blessings don't require you to sacrifice your soul. They only strengthen it. Trust that the love Allah has for you is far greater than any attachment or emotional desire you might have for someone else. And if you feel like you're losing yourself in the process, it's time to turn back to Him. Only with His guidance can you find your true path, and only by reconnecting with Allah will you regain the clarity you need to make the right decisions for your heart and your future. If you're facing one or more of these signs, don't panic. It's not too late to turn back. Relationships are not always what they seem, and sometimes the person you feel so drawn to may not be your soulmate. They may simply be a test, a challenge from Allah to help you grow in your faith, character, and understanding of what truly matters in life. And just like any test, it's an opportunity for growth, learning, and spiritual reflection. The beauty of a test is that it gives us the chance to improve, to become better versions of ourselves. When you face a test from Allah, it doesn't mean that you failed or that you're lost. In fact, it's a chance for you to reevaluate your path, refine your intentions, and strengthen your relationship with Allah. It's a reminder that the things that are meant for you will not come with confusion, uncertainty, or spiritual unrest. If a relationship is leading you to compromise your values, question your faith, or feel lost and unsettled, that's a sign that it's not aligning with what's best for you. But this doesn't mean you are trapped in a situation you can't get out of. Instead of rushing forward, take a moment to pause and reflect. Reflect on your feelings, on what's happening in your heart. Ask yourself, are you truly growing spiritually in this relationship, or are you being pulled further away from Allah? Are your actions and decisions aligning with your faith, or are they justifying things that make you uncomfortable deep inside? These are the questions that will guide you toward clarity. In times like these, don't be afraid to ask Allah for guidance. Allah is always ready to help you find clarity when you seek it. He knows your heart, your struggles, your doubts, and He will guide you toward what is best for you. Trust in His wisdom and His timing, because Allah never abandons those who sincerely seek His guidance. If this relationship is not right for you, He will guide you away from it. But first, you must be willing to ask for His help and trust that He has a better plan for you. Your true soulmate is not the one who makes you question your faith or brings you into confusion and conflict. Your true soulmate will be someone who brings you closer to Allah, someone who inspires you to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. They will encourage you to be a better version of yourself, to align with your values, and to build a life that honors Allah. If someone is pulling you away from your essence, your faith, and your purpose in life, they may not be the person meant for you. True love in the eyes of Allah is built on respect, trust, mutual growth, and alignment with your faith. Before making any decisions about the relationship, take the time to truly reflect on your feelings. Ask yourself if this relationship is helping you grow spiritually, or if it's leading you to compromise who you are at your core. Be patient with yourself. Sometimes we feel pressure to make quick decisions, but Allah's plans are never rushed. The right relationship will align with your faith, your values, and your purpose in life. It will not cause confusion, anxiety, or compromise. If you're feeling any of these things, it's important to take a step back and assess if this relationship is in line with your true path. It's never too late to turn back to Allah and ask for His help. The path toward healing, clarity, and peace might seem unclear at first, but Allah's guidance is always available to those who seek it. The moment you open your heart to Him, He will light the way for you. Even if you feel lost or uncertain, trust that Allah knows what's best for you. Sometimes, the biggest blessing comes when we surrender our fears and trust in His plan. You are never alone in this journey. Allah is with you every step of the way. If this message resonated with you, please comment below and share your thoughts. Let's support each other on this journey of faith. We are all going through similar struggles and questions, and it helps to know that we're not alone. If you found clarity in this message, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free, and it helps spread this guidance to others who might be struggling with the same doubts and questions. May Allah protect your heart, your faith, and guide you to what's best for you in this life and the next. May He ease your burdens, answer your prayers, and bring you closer to Him with every step you take. Trust in His timing, His wisdom, and His love for you. Ameen.